Hello guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel Octalogics. From this video we will be starting a new video series on PHP arrays. So let's get into it. So first we have introduction of PHP arrays. By definition, an array is a list of elements. So for example, you may have an array that contain a list of products. PHP provides you with two different type of array. First one is indexed array and second one is associative array. The key of indexed array are integers that start at 0 and then go so on. Typically you use indexed array when you want to access an element by their position. And now we will talk about associative. The key of an associative array is string, and you use associative arrays when you want to access element by string name. This tutorial will focus on index array. In second video we will talk about associative arrays. In PHP you can use array, construct or that bracket syntax to define an array. The bracket syntax is shorter and more convenient. So now we will see how we can create an array using array construct. We define just a simple variable and then initialize it to an array, empty array. To create an array with some initial element, you place a comma separated by a list of elements within parentheses of array construct. For example, the following defines an array that has 3 numbers. So we have an array of scores, and we are initializing it to array of 1, 2 and 3. Now we will create the same array using bracket syntax, also known as JSON notation. The following example uses the JSON notation syntax to create an empty array. And now we create this same score array, but the value of array is 1, 2 and 3. Now we are not using the array construct, instead we are using JSON notation syntax for defining an array in PHP. Now how we can display an array. To show the simplest way to show the element of an array is using valdump built-in function. So for those who don't know, valdump is a built-in function of PHP that give us the information about any variable which we pass to it as an argument. So here we are passing our scores array as an argument to the valdump, and beneath it we can see the output. So as it is an indexed array, we can see we have our first value at 0th index and then so on. The valdump function also give us the type of the data which is present in array. As it is an integer data, so you can see it has the type of int. Or we can also use print r function. It is also a built-in function, but it do not give us as much detail as compared to valdump. It's only give us the values and some basic necessary information. So we are passing our array, our scores array as an argument to this print r function, and it is displaying us the index and the value at that index of our array. So what we have next? Accessing arrays element. To access an element in array, you specify the index of the element within the square bracket. So the syntax will be something like that. We give the array name, then we have some bracket, and inside the bracket we define the index number of which value we want to access. Note that the index of first element of array begins with 0, not 1, and it is very important. The following example show how to access the first element of an array. So we have the same scores array having a value of 1, 2 and 3. Now if we want to access the element which is present and the 0th index, what we will do, we will echo the array, and inside the bracket we will write the index which is 0, and in output we will see the value at that index which is 1. Adding an element to array. To add an element to an array, you use the following syntax. You define the array, you give the array name, then the curly bracket, then the brackets, and then we initialize the value. So we will use the same scores array variable in which we already have 1, 2 and 3 at 0th, 1 and 2th index. Now if we want to add another element to this array, we will simple give the array name, brackets, and initialize the value. So in this example we define the array consists of 3 initials, then we add the number 4. It is possible to use an index when you add a new element to the array. For example, we want to add a new element at the 3rd index. So we give the index number in this bracket, and then we give the value. We can also change the array element. The following statement change the element located at the index to the new element. So its syntax will be like array name and the index, then we initialize the value. For example, here at 0th index we have 1, but if we want to change then 1 with 0, then we simply give the array name and define the index number which is 0, and then give the value. We can also remove the array element. To remove an element from an array, you use unset function. The following remove second element of the scores array. So unset is also a built-in function which basically does is that it remove the value of the specified index. So here we use unset built-in function, and then we pass the scores array with the index number which we want to remove as an argument to this unset function. We can also get size of a function using count built-in function. We define the count function, and then we pass the array as an argument of which size we want to get. So summary of this lecture: use the array construct or JSON notation syntax to create the new array. For the index array, the first index begins with 0, and it's very important to remember this thing, that first index will always be 0 in every programming language. To access an array element, use an index in the square bracket. Use the count function to get the number of element in an array. So that's all from today's tutorial. In next tutorial we will see PHP associatives array. Till then, take care and don't forget to like, share and subscribe our channel Octalogic. See you in the next one.